This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for joining this day one of the performance engineering session. I'm Satish. I'm from Asia. Very quick introduction about me. I have close to 13, 14 years of experience across various um, aspects of of our IT industry, starting from the mainframe and then to performance testing, performance engineering, and then product development, product engineering. So I've seen the throughout the various life cycle of our software development. Okay, and I've been with Isha conducting various courses, be it as performance engineering or crash courses on monitoring or the end-to-end live performance executions and Selenium for performance testers. I take a couple of different trainings. I've been doing this for at least last 2 years. Okay, so with that introduction, I'll just go and share the screen. And today, for the next 30, 40 minutes, okay, um, I'll try to provide you the complete view on what you're going to learn from this engineering course. Right? So you're going to be this course is going to be yeah, close to 25 hours, running over 3, 4, 4.5 weeks. Okay, so what is that you're going to get from this engineering course? Okay, so we'll try to provide you the quick walkthrough on the various topics that we are going to cover, and then we'll also explain how practical the sessions are going to be. Okay, and we will little bit talk about the each of these topics in detail. Okay, so from the topics of the complete course, right, as you see it in the slide, initially we will be starting with the basics of Java. Okay, so it is we honestly feel that for a performance engineer, you will be doing a lot of analysis, a lot of profiling, and we will be talking more in terms of heap, problem with the method, problem with the class, all these things, right? And everything are related to Java and technical, a little technical with respect to the programming language. Unless otherwise you have seen that practically, right? What does that method means? What does that class means? How a Java programmer will create a program? How he will compile the program? How he will go and bundle it into a WAR file? How the project is structured? How our different methods will be called from different class files, right? We're not going to go into core of Java programming, and our intention is not to become a programmer. Our intention is to enable ourselves a little bit so that we can confidently go and talk to the developers. We always have this hesitancy, right? When we go and talk to the developers about the response time, they question a lot of question back us with test data problems, or they might complain our environment, a lot of things. So we often go and go to them, convincing them the response time itself. It's a big thing. Now we're going to go and talk to them, saying that there is a problem with your method, or there is a leak, there is a problem with your heap allocation. Obviously they're going to come back with a lot of questions. So, and that is going to be a big bottleneck. When we don't know about these basics, we will lose confidence and we will never go into that area. So we want to break that shackle. So initially we will be spending a good amount of time in understanding the Java basics, and then concepts around it. We'll go and do a few Java programs. We'll go and there are a set of activities that we'll do. I'll show it what are all things we are going to do, but that is going to be the starting point of the course, the Java basics. And then we will get into the JVM basics. Again, more from the execution, Java execution. Your JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is something we need to understand how the JVM architecture is done, how the different, what are the different components of JVM with respect to being a thread management or memory management, the execution management. So we'll go and learn the JVM basics. And then we will get into the uh, kind of sessions where we will have a sample application. It's not when I say sample application, it's a, a proper Java application with MySQL connected at the backend. So we will assume ourselves like we are going to be in a project where there's a new application getting deployed, and as a performance engineer, what are various activities you do along with the developers in terms of optimizing the performance, in terms of debugging the response time problem, identifying the root cause of the response time, and then identifying and optimizing your memory of every transaction, every page. So more from a shift left early performance engineering, we will looking into the response time analysis, debugging the response time problem, and then we will go and learn about Java Heap, Java Stack, and the concepts around memory leak. And then we'll also again go to the same e-library application. There are going to be code available. Let me show you the this is the e-library application that is deployed in a Tomcat, which is running in my mission. This is what we will be using it. Okay, and where is it? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, and let me open the sample application as well for you. The one which we'll be using it continuously for our during the sessions for all the heap analysis, thread dump analysis, garbage collections, and for the response time analysis, right? For everything, we'll be using this e-library application. Okay. So as we move along the course, so as I said, it's going to be, we will put ourselves in a position where it's a new project where a new application is deployed, and we'll be working with the developer, and then we'll be analyzing the response time problem, and then the memory leak problems, and then as an extension to the memory, we'll also go and do those heap dump analysis, take the heap dump, when the heap dump has to be done, what are the approach towards it. So we'll try to learn all these concepts around heap dump and heap dump analysis, and then the garbage collection analysis. So when you look into the memory, it's whole everything end to end from a Java heap, Java stack, and then memory leak analysis, heap dump analysis, garbage collection analysis. And within this garbage collection analysis, we are going to look into a lot of other concepts, a lot of details about the various algorithm, various collector. I'll probably each and every topic I'll spend 5 to 10 minutes today and tomorrow for you to get more details around each and every topic. Now I'm just giving a high level view on various topics that we are going to cover. So, and then from then garbage collection analysis will be moving to Java threads, understand the concepts of Java thread, how threads are created, how threads are terminated, how do we go and configure the thread, and then the thread pool concepts and thread contentions that we will address during a load test, was test, and thread dump analysis. So that will be followed after your memory sessions. And then once we are done with these memory heap and threads, we'll be spending 2 or 3 sessions on the client side profiling, client side engineering, more in terms of testing approach, optimization, recommendation, complete client side profiling. Okay, and then we will have a couple of sessions on understanding the architecture and coming up with the monitoring strategy. So there are going to be 3-4 sessions around the monitoring, monitoring using AppDynamics, your one of the very top 2 APM tool. We'll look into configuring your Java application. So the Java application which is running in my mission, the e-library application, right? So this one um, will be configured with the AppDynamics, and whenever we are going to run a load test or a stress test, we'll be using AppDynamics for getting the all the response time, your JVM related details, your database calls, third-party calls, and troubleshooting the response time. All we will be learning using AppDynamics. Okay, so one is from the configuration. Second is configuring your Java application with AppDynamics, and then how are we going to use AppDynamics to do all the monitoring, diagnostics, and couple of important configuration that we'll do inside AppDynamics for setting up thresholds and setting up the some of the rules. Okay, and we'll also try to learn one of the very famous open source monitoring to automate your Windows OS level monitoring or Linux OS level monitoring. We'll look into the open source monitoring using a tick stack, a Telegraph, InfluxDB, Chronograph, or a Grafana. That is going to be also an extension of app monitoring. And we'll also look into the network side of monitoring, because a lot of times we come across problem with the latency between load generator and the application server, or application server to DB server. So how do we troubleshoot the latency issues, and now what are the approach around that? Okay, and then we also go and run some load test, small load test, and then we will use all these tools together, like your AppDynamics or TickStack together, to find out a thread related bottleneck or memory related bottleneck or response time related bottleneck. That is exercise something we will do it as part of the one of the session. Then so far it is all about the application layer monitoring client side. Then we will also have a detailed session on the database, Oracle database. We'll look into the architecture, process architecture, memory architecture of Oracle, and we'll also go and learn how to go and configure turn on snapshots in Oracle, how to enable the reports. We'll go and generate those reports. Then we will go and analyze the reports. So it's going to be a comprehensive session of the Oracle. Okay, I think I'll go. Somebody is on.
We are getting more. Getting background noise, please.
I think someone Anshu has to.
Yeah, I muted everyone, so I think it should not be a disturbance. Okay, thank you. Fine. So from there we will then, having seen all these things, right? Having learned all the response time analysis, response time profiling, memory leak analysis, heap dump, thread dump, client side analysis, monitoring, database. Then we will go and look into the how do we go and analyze the non-functional requirements and design our engineering strategy. Usually this is the, I would say, this is the one and only theoretical topic. Otherwise everything mostly it is going to be practical oriented only. Okay, so earlier we used to have this as part of the first session, engineering batch first session. We'll go and talk about non-functional requirement engineering strategy. But the thing with that is everybody new to this engineering will not be able to go and grab what we say theoretically. When I'm going to say in engineering strategy we should include thread dump analysis or heap dump analysis, they will not be able to really able to get why this needs to be done. So that's why now I have moved this to end of the session. So after learning all these things, then if I go on to talk about engineering strategy, it will be more easy and meaningful for you to understand why and what it is all about. And then so now in the current job market or in current projects, wherever you go, people talk about DevOps, people talk about cloud performance. That is the reason we wanted to make sure that you also prepare yourself for future. So we will have a one good introduction session on DevOps. We will go and use Jenkins, JMeter, AppDynamics to integrate and then see how a continuous testing will happen. So it is going to be a introduction to DevOps. And similarly, we'll also have an introduction to cloud performance. How different the cloud performance is going to be from a regular performance. What are the additional scenarios we need to consider, like resiliency or auto scaling? What are the additional testing scenarios we will include? Those as well we will discuss as part of the future readiness. So it's a comprehensive Java performance engineering course, and whatever listed here from first to last pretty much everything is going to be 70-75%. It's going to be practical, and then 20 to 25% will be a theoretical one. Not even 20-25%. Most of them will be using the live application tools to do profiling, to do analysis. So all these things are going to be pretty much practical. And the way we will do is, as I said, we will be using a e-library application. We will go and build the code, we'll deploy it, we will test it, we'll find the performance problem, we'll go and do the diagnostics, and we'll see what is the recommendation we are going to give. So I have a Google Drive where all the code snippet. Okay, let me open the Eclipse as well. So whatever we go and say, if I go to create a response time problem, I will go and create a memory problem, I'll go and create a thread problem. All these things will be provided to you through the drive. So if I say response time analysis, whatever Java files, I will go and use it or update it in the in the web application, whatever I'm using it, right? Corresponding issues, that Java file will be uploaded here in the drive. Similarly for the memory leak, whatever files we use it, and sample HProf files, EBDM files, and then all the softwares which you need to download. Okay, that will be available in the sheet in the drive again, which you can actually refer and then go and download all the softwares. Okay, so let it load. Yeah, softwares and links. So this will help you to go and all these links will help you to go and download the required softwares for you to practice it along with the session. Okay, the basic thing what we expect from you is, once you join the course, we recommend you to definitely follow the session, and at least in the weekend you go and practice it, so that you will get a confidence on what you learn, so that you can go and repeat that in your projects, or even if you want to go and claim saying I have done performance engineering, right? Because whatever we are doing, it is on a live web application. We are going to create a memory problem, we are going to create a response time problem, we are going to take EBDump, we are going to take thread dump, analyze it, client side analysis, all these things we are doing it practically with a real application. So you can even go and claim to in your interviews or into your project team saying I haven't done the performance engineering in my real projects, but I have done it on my own environment, on my own application. Nobody will definitely go and question it. I think nothing is something is better than nothing, right? Though you didn't get opportunity so far, you have done yourself within your mission, your laptop, setting up all these things. So that is why we say we recommend you to go and have this setup in your mission. A simple Java in your mission, Eclipse, a Tomcat, sample Java application which we will give it to you, both the WAR file and the code, and couple of tools like JProfiler, Visual VM, JConsole. Not a complicated setup. The things like AppDynamics, you can get it in the cloud. Will tell you how to do it. So more 95, in fact 100% of thing what I do in my laptop during a session, you should be able to do it, because everything is going to be open source. It's all lightweight installation only. Once you have this basic Java, Eclipse, Tomcat, and then you deploy the WAR file, that should be good enough for you to get started with the your hands-on, and for sure we recommend you to do it at least if not in the weekends, maybe once the course is over, whenever you get time. It is very, very important for you to repeat this in your environment. Okay, I'll just take a pause here if you have any questions before I move on to the further sessions and further topics for me to explain it a little further.
Satish, so I just wanted to know that these tools are open source tools, all tools that mentions in the curriculum.
All the tools, whatever that is mentioned in the slide, either it is an open source, or if it is a commercial, let's say AppDynamics is a commercial tool, but AppDynamics provides you a trial version. When I say trial version, they provide something called AppD Lite, which can be used continuously without any time limit. You can monitor one Java application or one .NET application or one Node.js application without any time limit. So otherwise, everything else mentioned here is going to be a open source. A JProfiler again is a commercial tool, but they provide you 15 days trial, and they will extend for 4 times or 5 times, and you can again go and get one more license with a different Gmail ID. So which means for learning, it is going to be free. And even in the projects, as a performance engineer, if we want to do our work, similar the way we go and ask them to provide LoadRunner or JMeter, we have to go and ask them to provide a JProfiler kind of a tool for doing your profiling. But for learning, it is open source. It is not open source. It's trial versions are available for JProfiler. AppDynamics is free with AppD Lite. Pretty much everything else is going to be open source.
Okay. For example, I am very new to the performance testing, and I have seen the JMeter and LoadRunner. People usually speak up about these tools. So we have not mentioned, just in the last I can see the JMeter is the mention there. So for in a core, in a nutshell, so which tool will be more useful while testing the actual server load in out of these tools?
See, you say load testing,
Load or
JMeter and
stress.
load. Yeah, for the load testing, for the performance testing, JMeter or LoadRunner. Okay. And when it comes to monitoring, it is AppDynamics or a Dynatrace. When it comes to profiling, it is more of a JProfiler, or you use Chrome developer tools for client-side profiling. So there are 3 categories of tools. Okay, one is going to be, I would say, 4 categories. One is your testing tool, which is JMeter and LoadRunner. Second is a monitoring tool, purely monitoring the server CPU memory. For that, there are multiple options are available, and in the course we are going to use Telegraph, Inflex, and Grafana or Chronograph. Third is application performance monitoring, which is more of a diagnostics, more of getting the insights, getting more deep dive into the performance problems within your server. That is your AppDynamics. And then number 4 is going to be your profiling tools, your engineering profiling, server-side profiling, like troubleshooting your memory leaks, or CPU profiling, single user profiling. That is the JProfiler. So in performance, there are 4 different category: testing tool, monitoring tool, application performance monitoring, and then your profiling. Together is what is going to be, from an engineering perspective, we use a combination of profiling tool, monitoring tool, APM tool for the engineering.
Okay, now I can relate. Just last one question. The duration for this course will be, and
The
how
duration
much
would be,
yeah.
So it would be approximately 23, 24, 25, 26 hours, somewhere around that. And Monday to Friday, between the same time, the time what
1
now
hour
we
daily.
are meeting, 1 hour daily. It would plus or minus 5-10 minutes depending upon the continuity.
Yeah.
So which means it will go for between 3, 4, 4.5 weeks. That is what it is planned.
Okay. Thank you so much, Satish.
Hi Satish, Manjari here. So I just wanted to know, as you mentioned that we will be doing a round of load tests to analyze this results of the performance engineering, or how we can do. So are we planning to integrate JMeter with AppDynamics, or a LoadRunner with AppDynamics as well?
No. There is no tool kind of integration is planned. We will be running a small load, okay, and then we'll create thread problems, thread contentions,
Mhm.
memory problems, response time problem, and then typically when a load test is running, we will go and
Mhm.
troubleshoot all these response time problem, thread problem, and memory problem, and we will learn how to use AppDynamics to diagnose this problem or to identify the problem. That is the exercise we will do it.
Okay, so we are not planning to adding some headers to the JMeter or LoadRunner scripts to so that we can view the transactions into AppDynamics.
Correct. See, that is more from your scripting perspective or from a load testing tool perspective. That is not in scope of that. But if you need details around that, I can probably
Hmm.
get you those as well. But that is not planned
Oh,
for the integration of tools is not planned here.
okay, okay, not an issue. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, Satish. This is Noor. I have a question related to the Oracle database architecture. So first, is it related to the cloud or private cloud of the Oracle architecture, or simply the Oracle architecture you're going to take care in this course?
We are going to talk about Oracle in general, be it is deployed in cloud or in data center. In general, how Oracle architecture is designed, right? More from the way the process architecture is designed, also from the memory architecture. We will learn about the parsing. We will learn about buffer cache, various components in SGA, various components in PGA. Those are the specific of Oracle will learn, and whether it is going to be deployed in cloud or whether it is going to be deployed in data center, the architecture is not going to change. Only the deployment is going to change. The infrastructure is going to change. So to answer your question, we will learn specific about Oracle itself rather than the way it is getting deployed.
Okay. So will it cover the query optimization as well after the architecture coverage?
So from the Oracle session, as you mentioned, it is going to be one is more from the architecture understanding. Second is more from the important metrics that we will analyze it from the Oracle AWR report. Be it the database time or your parsing efficiency, your buffer cache hit ratio, top SQLs. That is going to be one session within Oracle, and then we will go and try to understand how to configure the snapshots, how to take the snapshots in the Oracle DB, how to generate AWR report, what are the general approach we follow for taking AWR reports. That is what we will cover it in the Oracle session. But the query tuning, as you see it in the this topic, right? Query tuning is not part of the session, but we will touch upon certain aspect when you're going to talk about the parsing, right? There's a concept of parsing in the Oracle to convert your SQL into execution plan. And in few of the cases, if the queries are not constructed properly, there is going to be a problem with the parsing. So those performance related issues that we generally see in the query, those things we will cover, but not in terms of the SQL query optimization. Say, for example, if the developer has written some of the queries to sort to so the way the joins are written, that kind of a query optimization is not part of this session, this course.
So
Yeah.
is there any other course apart from this for that, or
Let me check. I think it is there very specifically only for query optimization. I think there is a session, is what I understand. But I can check and just ping me. I can check and let you know the way this course is designed. See, there are a lot of things we can go and add it. Okay, there is no boundary at all. We can just keep on adding a lot of topics into it. But the way we have tailored this is from a person who is good in performance testing, who is very new to performance engineering, who knows basics about performance engineering. This entire package, right from day one to day end, the way we have tailored is to make sure he gets all the required things for him to go and work in a performance engineering project. And this query optimization and all, I would say it is a little further into the advanced category, where you need to know SQLs, and then you need to go and learn about DB tuning, tuning the SGAs, tuning the PGAs. So those things mostly it will be done by the DBAs. So we as an application performance engineer, we are not the DBAs. So that is how we have tailored this. Yes, we can go and keep on adding. That is going to bring down the whole agenda of this batch. So whatever listed here, it would be covered. In addition, if you need any additional information, probably we can try to share those information for sure in between. And for your case, I can just ping me. I can get you the as a specific course. I think for the query tuning. That is what I heard. So just ping me. I can share you the details.
Okay. Thank you, Satish. Thanks for the information.
No problem. No problem.
One more query. Will this course also covers about CPU scheduling? That's all.
Sorry, come again. What is the question?
Sorry. So, like, I just want to know that whether this in this course I will also cover the topic of like CPU scheduling and all.
Your voice is actually breaking a lot. Not sure whether it's my problem. Can you put that question in the chat if possible, or you can try one more time?
Yeah, I'll put that my question in the chat.
Now your voice is clear. Actually, you can ask.
Yeah, I just want to know that whether this course will also has a topic on that CPU scheduling, like on all things which cover in that, like vSphere 6.0, some tool is there, right? So VMware will be using that tool and all scheduling.
I'm not very sure about the question. Can you just put it in the chat? Maybe you can put it in descriptive way what you're looking for. Let me come back to you. But again, the topics, whatever that is listed here, is something where it's very transparent here, right? Whatever it is listed here, it's going to be covered. In addition, if you need any information, I can try to gather those information. I can share it to you. For your question, just put it in a chat, maybe a little descriptive way. Let me try to understand and then get back to you.
Sure. Yeah, sure, Satish. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions related to the topic that we are going to cover? I know there are multiple things you might wanted to learn outside of this, but anything within the topic or anything related to that. So tomorrow what we will do is, so the session, the batch will start from tomorrow. So from tomorrow what we will do is we'll go and try to understand the few basics of engineering, how it fits into the SDLC cycle, what actually the teams think about when it comes to engineering, what are various skill set, what are various activity that is part of the SDLC cycle. Okay, so this introduction we will have it tomorrow, and then I'll go and talk about each and every session in the topic, right? We'll go and spend some time on these, all the topics that is listed here. We'll go and spend some time on what exactly we are going to cover, what tools we are going to use. We'll give more in-depth details about each of the every session tomorrow, so that it will be very clear for you. Okay, so that is what we'll plan to do tomorrow. I'll probably spend some more time on each of this topic. We'll show you the different code, the Eclipse setup, and then the next class we will start with this Java basics. So that is how we will tomorrow will get chance to know more about the particular topics, the tools and techniques that we will use it, and then we will start with the Java session from the next today is Wednesday, so Friday. From Friday we'll start with the Java basics. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, related to the course topic, course fee, course duration, if you wanted to have a one-on-one discussion with me or Kumar sir, feel free to ping me or ping in the group with all your questions. We can have a discussion as well. Okay. Yeah. So
Hi Satish, Kainat this side.
yeah, please go ahead.
I have one question related to this monitoring tools or profiling tools that we are using. Does using these tools causes slower or any performance issues in the application itself?
See, the profiling tool, yes, it will bring some kind of a overhead to the um, your application. Okay, but profiling will be done mode, not during a load testing. Okay, so which means there are going to be overhead, but we don't have a choice. We need to instrument the code. We need to instrument the application to do a diagnostics. But there is going to be a single user test. We are not going to be concerned about the impact it is going to bring to the overall system, because we are not going to profile during a load test. So which means, yes, the profiling tool will have an overhead, but from the single user server-side profiling perspective, it is not a concern. But the tools like AppDynamics or Dynatrace, which is going to do a continuous monitoring during a load test, the overhead AppDynamics or Dynatrace will bring us going to be very, very less. Okay, I think they claim somewhere around 1 to 1.5%, and which is not a real concern, because we obviously we need those tools for monitoring and diagnostics in production as well as during our load test. So the AppDynamics, yeah, very minimal overhead will be there, which is something everybody accepts to go ahead with that. So profiling tool will have more overhead, but that is used only for the single user early profiling, server-side profiling. AppDynamics with a very low overhead will be used in production and in a performance environment for the load testing.
Satish Roshan here.
Hello,
So,
Satish.
Yeah, go
one
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Roshan.
uh,
After that, I will.
yeah, sure. So, in the non-functional requirement and engineering strategy, are we going to cover both on-premise and cloud applications testing, or just on-premise one?
No, if you ask me, the non-functional requirements and engineering strategy does not vary between cloud or on-premise. Okay, we'll discuss that for sure. How it is going? There are going to be few scenarios, few additional approach we may have to include it in the cloud. Yes, those things will be covered. Okay, but in general, the way you're going to analyze your non-functional requirements are not going to deviate much. But yes, with the cloud, there are going to be multiple geographical locations. Your CDNs will come into picture. We need to design our strategy so that we also make sure the load generators are going to be situated in different CDN networks. So those things will vary. Those things, yes, those things will be covered when we are going to discuss about the NFR and the engineering strategy, how different it is going to be cloud versus on-premise. But to answer that in another way around, it is not going to be that different at all from this NFR perspective or engineering strategy perspective, but more from the test scenarios, more from the regular load testing, endurance testing. We may also wanted to include, we will include more end user experience scenarios, and then resiliency scenarios, and then testing out your auto scaling option in the cloud. So testing scenarios will be more and more little different when it compares to on-premise versus cloud. Those things we will discuss as part of the sessions.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, Satish. This is Sujit here. So, is there any technique that we can monitor? We can do performance engineering without these tools, like what you have mentioned. Can we do performance engineering without any third-party tools?
No, I won't say no, but it is going to be very, very complex and difficult. Okay, so the tools like the native tools like JProfiler, sorry, not JProfiler, JVisualVM or JConsole are there, which can provide some insights, but detailed, or you can also go and write some instrumentation code by yourself. If you know development, or if you can work with the developers, you can go and add some custom logging whenever the entry time of the method, exit time of the method, those things we
Okay.
can do it as a developer. So to log those detail into the logs, it is a indirect way of doing it. We were doing it earlier when wherever there is no cushion of AppDynamics or these tools, we will end up in working with developers to log these data to troubleshoot the problem. But if you want to do engineering, and this has to be a prerequisite, the team doesn't gives it, then we can explore other options of uh, other these open source tools are there, like whatever you have seen, JVisualVM and then JConsole are there,
Correct.
but they're not going to be very useful for doing the complete engineering. We may have to work with the developer to put some additional logging to troubleshoot the response time problems.
Okay, got it. Got it. Understood. Thanks. Thanks.
Sure.
Satish Manjari here. Sorry, again, I have one question. Apart from this course, do you have any course for the tuning? For example, like Java performance tuning or Oracle tuning?
Yeah, as I said, for Oracle, the query tuning, I think there is something getting started for explicitly only for the SQL tuning. You can just check ping group or ping Kumar sir, you'll be able to help you out. But more from
Okay.
Java, there is nothing called Java tuning. It's all about the Java tuning, which we cover as part of this course, right? JVM benchmarking. We will talk about JVM tuning. It's more about benchmarking the JVM with respect to the thread connections, with respect to the heap configuration. So that all these things we will cover anyway as part of the engineering session. So there's nothing called Java tuning as such separately. It is not required. But SQL tuning, yes, I think that is one.
Okay, sure. And do you have anything like, as you mentioned here, like for the DevOps platform, Jenkins, JMeter, AppDynamics tools you mentioned, right? So is there any course like performance testing in the DevOps environment or performance engineering in the DevOps environment?
Sorry, can you rephrase that question? I didn't get that properly.
Yeah, here you mentioned, right? There is one topic you will be covering for the DevOps introduction. Okay.
Correct.
In which tools have been mentioned, like Jenkins, JMeter, AppDynamics. So is there any course which will include performance testing in DevOps model?
Currently, no. There's no dedicated session or dedicated course for that. But whatever we going to cover in the introduction, we will cover that is required for you to do performance testing in DevOps. We will learn how practically we approach it. What are the various challenges we face, and then we'll talk about the tool integration of JMeter and Jenkins. But exclusive only for performance testing in DevOps, we don't have it currently, but we might have it maybe in the future.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Fine, guys. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow. As mentioned, we'll continue with whatever I told you that we'll cover it tomorrow. So thanks for your time today. And meanwhile, if you have any question on the course content or course duration, course fees, or if you want to have some more discussion directly with Kumar sir or with me, just ping me in the group. We can do it tomorrow or whenever we both get time. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, guys, and we'll meet tomorrow then.